What's good, e-bikers? This is the Lectric XP 3.0. This is the Ride1Up Portola. Two very similar bikes, but which one is better? Let's find out next on the channel. Okay, shout out to my buddy Steve who gave me his Lectric XP 3.0 step through for this video here. I borrowed it for a few days. So today we're talking about the difference between these two e-bikes, because when the XP came out, it's the best-selling e-bike on the market. But then Ride1Up came out with the Portola last year, and it's a very competitive e-bike against the Lectric XPs out there. It only comes in step-through frame, so that's why I got the step-through for this video. And you can see what those look like here. So today we're going to talk about the similarities and the differences, and give you a sense of which one I like better and why. Okay, price-wise, the XP comes in at $9.99 for the 10 amp hour version and $11.99 for the 14 amp hour version. The Portola is $9.95 for the 10 amp hour and $10.95 for the 13.4. So you get a little more value, I think, on that version than you might with this. It's $100 less, essentially. When it comes to motors, the XP is rocking a 500 watt motor back here that peaks at 1,000, and the Ride1Up has a 750 watts. I'm not sure what it peaks at, but 750 watt out of the box. They're both rocking these 20x3 tires. Essentially the almost the exact same tires, just a little bit different. The XP has a telescopic stem here, while the Ride1Up just has a fixed one. You can't adjust this at all. So that's a little bit of a knock on it. When it comes to weight, the Ride1Up wins. It's 59 pounds, and the XP is 64 pounds, so it's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. Both e-bikes come with hydraulic brakes, and sitting on nice big rotors here, 180 millimeters. When it comes to colors, you can only get the XP in white, unfortunately, while the Ride1Up comes in a sea turquoise, comes in a matte black, and also an indigo, kind of an indigo blue, if you will. So you have more color options with that Ride1Up version. Portola comes with an 8-speed trigger shifter. Lectric comes with this 7-speed SAS shifter. Pretty basic. Both e-bikes can hit 26, 28 miles an hour. So when it comes to subjective stuff like looks, beauty's in the eye of the beholder here. I do think the Ride1Up is a little bit more just nicer looking overall. It's just cleaner. It's got a cleaner look to it versus all the kind of different angles and joints here on the XP. But to each his own here. But I do think just from a design standpoint, aesthetics, I'd give a notch. I'd put the Ride1Up in that win column when it comes to the overall looks and design. When it comes to size, the Portola is a smaller e-bike. It's probably like 5% smaller. You can definitely see the XP sticks out a couple more inches when they're lined up side by side. So that's going to affect kind of what size riders should get to each of these e-bikes. So for example, I feel much better riding the Lectric XP since I'm 6 foot tall. So if you're on the taller side, I definitely suggest getting the Lectric, because the Portola, it's got a much shorter reach there, so you feel a little more squished when you're on the bike, and you just feel smaller on it. It feels like a smaller e-bike from my perspective. Again, I'm being 6 foot tall, so if you're really short, I think the Portola is a better option for you there. So keep that in mind. Step over height is pretty much the same. They're about, the Portola is about an inch shorter than the Lectric. But I think because of that tube there on the bottom here, this one's a little bit lower than the XP, I think. I'm going to sit on the Portola here and show you how I feel on this bike. I'm very close to the handlebars on this one. so the reach is really short. That's why I feel a little bit shorter on here, and it's probably a little bit lower in terms of getting a good pedal extension on the Portola here, because it's a little bit shorter. It's like, I'd say 5% shorter than the, or smaller than the XP. Let's try sitting on the XP. Again, there's definitely more reach here, and it just feels like a bigger e-bike while I'm sitting on it. So keep that in mind. But again, if you're shorter, I think the Portola is the way to go. So Lectric does finally have a kind of competitor to the XP here. I do wish you could get a step over instead of just a step through with the Portola, but it's a pretty nice e-bike overall, and you really can't go wrong buying either of these guys. So just keep that in mind. I think it really comes down to your size, the aesthetics, which one you like better in terms of looks. They're both good companies. Of course, Lectric is a little bit better than I think most companies out there because of their customer service, so keep that in mind. But and you can also get a slightly bigger battery on the XP 14 versus 13.4. Not a huge difference, but for some, that extra 0.6 amp hours might be might be worth it. So $11.99 to $10.95 for the top versions, and click a link in the description if you want to pick one up. I'll let the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Catch you next time on Crisscrossed.